good evening there. How you doing? This is Hash News on March 26th with our day 8 coverage of the coronavirus. And I'm your good friend Chubby Chaucer. That's right, I'm filling in today for Chevy Chaser because he's out sniffing glue or some shit like that. I'm not sure. Anyways, let's get started with the Hash News that I'm filling in for today, like I already said, so I'm telling you again. Well, I'm probably trying to avoid to tell you it's not a very good day to really talk about coronavirus news because today 1,000 Americans died in a single day, which is pretty bad. I mean, not as bad as getting a stick up the pee hole on a personal level, but still pretty tragic considering on Monday we only had 100 die. So, we're kind of on the uphill side of the curve, so we got to kind of start thinking about things a little different, And maybe schedule some time to talk to some friends, maybe somebody you haven't called in a little while. I'm just saying. To kind of give you an idea of what we're looking ahead here to, down there in Spain, where all the Spanish people live, they recently had to turn an ice skating rink into a temporary morgue because they had no places to put all their dead bodies. Because unlike my Uncle Jerry, who went to jail for reasons that we don't need to get into, they don't burn them in the back of their property, on the back 40. Anyways now, so, things are getting pretty bad, but, they could always be worse. Here in Oregon, they've been starting to really escalate things, about how to handle this. In fact, the U.S. Forest Service recently announced that all the trails up in the Columbia Gorge there is all closed up, They're really giving a primer on how to do social distancing and nobody's listening, so they just had to close up all them trails, all them pretty waterfalls, So, no more hiking for you, except for maybe up to less popular places, those really boring ones that just take you through the trees. You're like, oh, look, here's a big rock. That was nice. I guess I'll walk back now. But that's kind of life for you. We also had a problem because most of the hospitals in Oregon announced that they're no longer going to allow a lot of people in the rooms when pregnant women give birth anymore, So there's going to be a lot of hippie women pretty disappointed because a bunch of doulas and about a half dozen of their closest friends won't be able to watch them squirt a large piece of thing out of their vaginas, Personally, I think if you really want to see something like that, you should go on the internet. I'll send you some websites if you ask me. In asshole news today, that's right, asshole news. That first news was vagina news, I guess. So this is asshole news. Young people are proving yet again that thanks to the internet, they are about the worst kind of people you can ever imagine. Lately, the newest internet craze, which everyone's getting into, is based upon licking toilets. They're calling it the coronavirus challenge. Basically, it was started by this asshole who likes to jerk himself up in front of people, who licked the toilet in a public airport, And this started all sorts of other young people putting up on the talk tick all these things about, licking all sorts of things, from bus stops to other people to something on the subway. Hell, there was even a lady in some grocery store who coughed on all the food purposefully and they had to throw it all out. I hear she's getting fined big because that's a pretty bitchy thing to do. I tell you what, this is kind of fucked up if you ask me, because back in my day, if you wanted to make a spectacle of yourself, you just had to put on a trench coat and go down to St. Paul and just, flash people and maybe play with yourself a little bit just to show off. It was never anything really sexual, but, it's kind of fun just to fuck with people. Oh shit, I'm kind of losing my accent there because my mother was from Brooklyn and sometimes that just happens. Don't worry about it. Anyways, back to the news. Let's skip over the asshole news and get to the better things in news, because by God, we need to talk about the good things, because there's a lot of good things going on with people right now, One of the big things are people creatively discovered that you can make Scooby equipment into a ventilator, for people who are sick. You just gotta hack it a little bit and there you go. So that's a pretty ingenious thing. And another good thing is Aviation Gin, famous gin here owned by Ryan Reynolds and the famous actor in the Deadpool stuff. At least I think that's the right gin. If not, fuck it anyways. Either way, Aviation Gin announced that a portion of all their sales is going to go to Portland bartenders who are out of work. So there you go. People really taking care of each other in a community. I'll tell you, a community really taking care of each other, That has to be the Hash community, who have all sorts of big events coming up. In fact, let's go through a couple of them. Tonight, for instance, we have virtual trails brought to you by the Stumptown and No Name Hash House Harriers. The No Name Hash House Harriers are going to have their circle at 7 p.m. tonight, and then the Stumptown's going to have theirs at 8. So if you want to check both out, great excuse to be drinking in the evening all by yourself, instead of being some kind of drunken slob like my Uncle Jerry, who totally isn't in prison for murdering people. Let's see now. Tomorrow, there's two big events back-to-back. First, the Eugene Hash House Harriers. They're hosting virtual online social storytelling and maybe a virtual orgy if it breaks out right. That's going to be at 5 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock, there is going to be a virtual TGIF with a Wild West theme hosted by our own Can't Finish, master of TGIF and other things, eh? So that should be pretty fun. And of course, on Saturday at 8 p.m., we have Hash News Live with your good friend Chevy Chaser. Not Chubby Chaser. I'm going to be somewhere else, eh? Probably hiding in my garage for my Uncle Jerry, who's getting out of prison tomorrow. Unimportant now, I'm not going to talk about that. Anyways, like I was saying, 8 p.m. tomorrow, Hash News Live, call-in show. Very good. People seem to enjoy it. It'll get around. You just wait and see. Now, some people might say it's a good thing that all these new hash things are coming up to keep people entertained, but I heard Chevy Chaser isn't happy because he's a narcissist, and by God, he's going to go around licking doorknobs if it doesn't stop. But you know what, your old friend Chubby Chaser says that's not a big deal, so just go ahead and keep doing it. All right, now, I seem to be losing my accent again, so we're just going to quit. You have yourself a wonderful night. This is Hash News.